Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Picket Line Live special broadcast for PCS, being broadcast live across a number of picket lines this morning in London and across Scotland. I'm Martin Kavanagh. I'm the National President of PCS, and I'm really pleased to be joined live in the virtual studio this morning by Laura B, who's our Senior National Officer, who's been working closely with our reps and members who are involved in the strike action across G4S, OCS and ISS. So good morning, Laura. How are you?
Morning, Martin. All good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. It's really exciting, isn't it? It's the first time we've done anything like this on PCS. So we are going to be going across live to a number of the picket lines in a few moments' time. But can you just tell the viewers exactly what it is these strikes are about and what's been happening over the past few weeks?
Yeah, sure, Martin. So our members employed by ISS, OCS and G4S in a number of workplaces on the government property estate, covering a number of departments, including the Cabinet Office, the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, the Department for Business and Trade, the Department for Science, Innovation and Technology and DESNES, are out on strike today and for the rest of this week in a long-running dispute over pay, terms and conditions. And that strike action comes as a result of a failure of their employers to act to table a reasonable pay offer that lifts our members out of poverty pay above the real living wage for Scotland and the London living wage in London, and affords them the improvements to the terms and conditions that they deserve and brings parity between them and their civil service colleagues. We're seeking an annual leave uplift to a minimum of 25 days to align to the civil service terms, but also, crucially, the implementation and introduction of company sick pay. It's an absolute disgrace that our members employed on facilities management contracts, like the ones our members employed in these disputes are on, receive no company sick pay. Instead, they're forced into a position of 3 waiting days before they can claim statutory sick pay. And the reality of the situation is a number of our members are coming to work when they're sick because they can't afford to take time off to recuperate. And we don't accept the position that they should be forced into accepting either not being able to pay their bills and taking time off to recuperate, or coming into work when they're sick because they can't afford to take the time off to get themselves better. All 3 contractors to date have not tabled an acceptable pay offer. The position with G4S and OCS is that neither company are engaging in any meaningful negotiations or dialogue with PCS and our pay negotiators. OCS in particular have refused to engage throughout the period of the industrial action. Our members working for OCS commenced their industrial action in September. So we have a position that since that strike action at Abercrombie House involving our OCS members started, that there has been 1 meeting with OCS, and that was facilitated by their client, the Government Property Agency. G4S, we did convene some urgent negotiations to try and reach a resolution, but the position of G4S as it currently stands is the offer of the real living wage or the London living wage in London. And that is a contractual requirement set by the Government Property Agency when these contracts were procured and tendered in November last year. So they're offering essentially to do what the contract requires them to do and not offering a penny more than that contractual provision. ISS, we're in a slightly different space with ISS because ISS have engaged meaningfully with PCS and continue to engage meaningfully with PCS. The resolution to the ISS dispute now rests with the Government Property Agency on a decision over the company sick pay demand that's been referred to those to the organisation for a decision based on the risk implementation and cost implementation of the introduction of company sick pay. So we call not only on the contractors to engage in meaningful dialogue, but also the Government Property Agency to get back into negotiations with PCS to talk through the decisions that need to be made to allow us to reach a resolution to these disputes and bring our members back to work. It's not lost on us that the contingent labour being used to cover the industrial action aren't familiar with the buildings, and we've raised serious and significant security and safety risks as a result of having security teams that aren't familiar with the buildings, the assets within the buildings, and the integrity of the data within the buildings in terms of the concerns we've got about the levels of security clearance for some of the officers used to being deployed to cover the industrial action. So our demand is clear that all of the contractors and the GPA need to re-engage with PCS meaningfully to find a resolution. And our position is that the ministers of each of these departments have a role to play in the dispute resolution. And we have written to the ministers to call on them to meet PCS urgently to discuss the resolution. But the only way this industrial action is going to end, and the only way that the contractors will avoid further escalation of this dispute, is if they reach a resolution with PCS that's acceptable to our members.
Yeah, that's great, Laura. Thanks very much. I mean, clearly, yet again, another example of an outside contractor being brought in on a government contract who treats their workforce, with lack of respect and lack of dignity. And sometimes people accuse strikers of being greedy, but actually, it really is the bare minimum that our members are fighting for, isn't it? I know we're going to go along to a number of the picket lines, starting with East Kilbride in Scotland, Abercrombie House. Right now. So good morning, Eddie, Imran, and the gang. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning from Abercrombie House.
Yeah, good morning, Declan. How are you doing, mate? You all right?
We're good, thank you. A wee bit cold this morning, but we're getting there.
Brilliant. Declan, could you just explain to us what the mood is like on the ground in East Kilbride this morning?
Yeah, so the mood on the ground at Abercrombie House this morning is a mix of determination and frustration. Members on the picket line are standing firm in their resolve to achieve fair treatment and better working conditions. There's also a sense of disappointment at the lack of progress from management. Spirits are generally high among the team, with solidarity keeping morale strong. Though the prolonged action is undoubtedly weighing on some members, overall the atmosphere reflects unity and commitment for our members, even in these challenging circumstances.
Yeah, cheers, mate. What are the challenges and the sacrifices that our members are taking while they're on strike? Because clearly it's not an easy thing to do, is it?
Yeah, it's not at all. So from speaking to the guys, the biggest challenges we're facing are the financial and emotional sacrifices members are making during this action. Striking means losing wages, which puts strains on individuals and their families, especially during this difficult economic time. Beyond that, there's an emotional toll in standing out in the cold, being away from our regular routines and dealing with uncertainty as to how long this will go on. Operationally, we're also dealing with challenges related to adequate cover. Members feel the frustration knowing that some replacement staff lack the proper security clearance or training to perform the job with the same diligence, which undermines the high standards which we work hard to maintain. Despite these sacrifices, our members remain steadfast because they believe in the principles of fairness, respect and long-term benefits this strike aims to achieve for everyone.
Yeah, cheers. And if there is a message from all the pickets there this morning to G4S and OCS, what would that message be?
So the message we want to send to G4S and OCS is simple. The members deserve fair treatment, respect and proper recognition for the crucial work that they do. We're not just numbers on a balance sheet, we're a dedicated professional who ensure operation runs smoothly and securely. We need both companies to understand that this action isn't just about wages, it's about addressing long-standing issues like understaffing, lack of adequate support and the need for adequate policies that reflect the essential nature of our work. We are entitled to resolve, and we urge G4S and OCS to engage in meaningful dialogue with the union to reach fair and substantial resolution. The longer this action continues, the more companies risk damaging trust and morale along the workforce. It's time to show it's time to show they value their employees by taking concrete steps towards change.
Yeah, that's fantastic, Declan. Really strong, good message there from you and all the gang in East Kilbride. I know that you've got a message in a few moments from Linda or Heather to the other strikers today. But before we do that, can we just get a full view of that picket line and hear some noise?
Right, guys, everybody in. Everybody behind the camera. Right, let's make a noise. Yeah! What do we want? Man!
Brilliant.
Yeah!
That's brilliant. And do we have that message for the other strikers?
Here's Linda and Heather.
Hi guys, morning. We've been here 13 weeks. It's hard going. Stick together. We're all in it together. We'll get good results.
We're all behind everybody. OCS, G4S, ISS, and anybody else that's out striking right now. Solidarity, my friends.
Brilliant, fantastic, and I think everyone can see the vibrancy of that picket line. And well done all, and solidarity to you, being an absolute credit to PCS. That's brilliant, Laura, isn't it?
Absolutely, an incredible group of members, absolutely determined to win their dispute. Martin, standing absolute resolute in the face of hostility from their employers. Yeah,
and you can see how cold it is there as well. Not an easy thing to do. So you know, we obviously, that I think gives you a really good feel for what it's like on the picket lines. But there are a number of other picket lines taking place this week and over the course of these next few weeks as well. So we are now going to do a tour of the London picket lines, and we're going to start off by going to live to Mohammed, who's outside the Cabinet Office, and the strikers there.
Good morning, Laura. Good morning, Martin. We're out here outside 70 Whitehall, the Cabinet Office, yeah, in this cold, damp and windy day. And we are here because we are fighting for a decent and fair pay rise for everybody. Yeah. And we are here because we want better terms and conditions for the ones that don't get any, don't we? Yeah. Make some noise! Come on! Hey! Make it! Come on, everybody! Make it! Come on! That's it, everybody!
Absolutely fantastic again. Yeah,
Thanks,
Laura, now I think we're going to go to Whitehall.
Yeah, thanks, Martin. If we move now to Anil and the G4S strikers at 22 Whitehall.
Hi, Martin. Hi, Laura, everyone. And this is, my name is Anil. I'm one of the PCS rep for 22 Whitehall. And this is 22 Whitehall. And why we outside is we work for a G4S company. And the main reason is we are not getting company sick pay. We work here on this building for 72 hours, so we don't have no social and family life. So we just want to ask for the company to come forward and negotiate, and that's why every one of us is joining for, and stay solidarity, yes, everyone. Fair pay.
Fantastic. And we've also got strikers on strike at the Department for Business and Trade as well, outside the Admiralty building. So over to you, Salah.
Hello, Martin and Laura. We are here for pay up, money up. We are in front of the Department of Business and Trade. We are here for our fair pay up, money up. We are here for we're not gonna go out until our pay up, money up. We are for fighting our pay rise, our fair pay. So make some noise, get together!
So I think, Martin, we're going next to the ISS strikers at 22 Whitehall, and we've got a message from Deborah on the picket line this morning.
Hi, Laura. Hi, Martin. I'm here today from ISS. We're here in solidarity with G4S. We are two different companies, but we're facing the same problem. We want fair pay. It's really expensive to live in London, and yet we are not getting a livable pay. So we are here fighting for our rights, fighting for better conditions, and fighting to be heard. We will not be silenced. Yay! Yay!
not be silenced. Solidarity.
Brilliant. And I think finally, though, we're going to go over to Canary Wharf, I think.
Morning, Martin. Morning, Laura. We're here on gig at Canary Wharf, and we're out on strike until such time as we get the money that we want. Solidarity to all the picketers.
Solidarity! Fantastic. And I think everyone can see from all of those picket lines there is a real strong determination, a very vibrant atmosphere, and a real sense of solidarity and togetherness that these strikers have built. And obviously they've been talking to each other over that period, Laura, haven't they? And really spreading that sort of love and solidarity to each other. And it does keep them going, doesn't it?
Absolutely, Martin. So they're a really close-knit team and they're all working together. We've got representatives from all of those picket lines on our pay negotiations team, alongside James Goldsat, one of our civil service reps that's played a real pivotal role in the dispute to date. And the sense of solidarity, the messages that they're sharing with each other to keep each other going. And it's the sad reality, Martin, is that instead of stepping in to resolve the dispute, their employers' attempts to dissuade our members from striking through comms that they're putting out to suggest that there is activity on the picket line that is unlawful. We've had at 70 Whitehall, the police called on almost every day that our strikers have been outside there on the picket line. Each time a message of support has come from our colleagues in the Met Police that have been called along to the picket line through various complaints about noise and blocking the path. None of that has dissuaded our members. In fact, it's given them the real boost that they need to continue to fight, to stand outside their workplace in huge numbers, as we've seen this morning, to be visible and to be heard in their dispute, not just by their employers, but by the senior officials within the departments who took the decision to outsource the contracts. And ultimately, this dispute is not just about pay terms and conditions. It's about raising the profile of why these contracts should be insourced, why our facilities management members deserve to be civil servants and get the same pay terms and conditions as the colleagues that they work alongside day in, day out, delivering key vital services to the departments. And without our facilities management members, the buildings wouldn't open, the buildings wouldn't be safe, the buildings wouldn't be clean, and there'd be no catering services within those buildings. So we hope that G4S, ISS and OCS, together with the Government Property Agency, will engage and allow us to resolve these disputes before we escalate the action further. But as we can see there, a group of amazing members, all determined, all sending messages of solidarity to each other in that way, that they are completely unified. As Declan said in his contribution, they may all work for different companies, but they all have uniform demands of their employers, and we will win on each of those demands against each of those employers through the sheer determination of our members to stand this out until the very end.
Yeah, brilliant, Laura. Thanks for that. I mean, clearly those strikes having a real impact. And I know when I was along at Whitehall the other week, you know, the staff who work in the Cabinet Office couldn't help but hear the noise and see the message and hear the message that was getting played right before their very eyes and outside their building. So thanks so much for that. I mean, comrades will have seen a number of messages that are being flashing across the screen throughout the course of this live broadcast, and keep those messages coming, because this will continue to stay up on our media channels, YouTube, Facebook, X, etc., right the way through the coming hours and days. So please keep those messages of support coming. It really does make a difference to those people who are making this sacrifice, and not easy weather conditions, certainly, but also not easy economic conditions for these strikers either. So please keep those messages of support coming. You can also send messages of support into the union, and we'll make sure that they get forwarded on into all of our pickets, all of our strikers. And obviously you saw a caption flash up again about how you could donate to the strike fund. Again, if that can be put on in a few moments' time, that would be, you know, really important that we keep building this war chest to make sure that these strikers are able to continue in this brave struggle. So look, we are coming towards the end now of our special broadcast. Just to let comrades know, though, that we do have a series of further strike dates for our members in G4S, OCS members in Abercrombie House up in East Kilbride. The dates are on strike. They're going to be on date right throughout December. and up to and including the 3rd of January as well. So if you are in the vicinity of East Kilbride, please get along to show your solidarity support for those brave strikers. And also as well for our members, G4S members in Whitehall, the workplaces will continue to be on strike next week, 23rd, 27th of December as well, and then on the 30th of December through to the 3rd of January. So again, if you're in the vicinity of Westminster, please get along to those picket lines and show your support to all those brilliant and brave strikers. And the final thing I want to say, really hope everyone's got from the clear message from this today, that those strikers are, yes, they're making sacrifice. Yes, they are absolutely in the midst of striking in very difficult, inclement conditions. But the mood is not dampened. The mood is not frozen in any way, shape, or form. The mood is very, very strong. And I just want to place on record that have appeared on today. I want to give a huge shout out to all of those who contributed to this live broadcast from the picket lines, and a real message of solidarity right across the piece from our union members. It's also to remember, we should also remember as well, there are other union members, PCS members on strike or in dispute at the moment, even if they're not on strike. So there's been some really good, vibrant strike picket lines as well for our G4S members on the DWP contract. And whilst they're not on strike now, we're still very much in the throes of that dispute. And earlier this week, Monday and Tuesday, our brave PCS members in DBS in Liverpool, the Disclosure Bar and Service, also on strike. So a real mood of solidarity, but also a real mood of defiance right now from our strikers. A huge thank you to you, Laura, as well, for joining me in this virtual studio this morning. Thanks very much for your contributions, but also everything you're doing on behalf of our striking workers and our reps in those areas. And obviously, I know that we'll keep up that fight. And we're going to bring this live broadcast now to an end with a poem. So over to Chip Hamer.
Manifesto. The workers are red, the bosses are blue. Some poems rhyme, this one doesn't. Stick with your trade union and fight to defend your pay, terms and conditions.